Hey, what's going on, everybody? How are you doing? Happy Sunday, everybody. Hope you guys are doing super good. We are going to kick things off this stream with a rocket launch. What better way to start a stream than with a rocket launch, I say. Yeah, we have Starlink set to launch here for another round of Starlink satellites. If you can hear the dog squeaking in the background. Should be good. Yeah, another set of batch V2 mini Starlink satellites, launching like 22 of them again. This is going to be on booster 1086.5. This is going to be the 5th flight off of a 26-day turnaround for this booster, which is pretty crazy. Also, this is the 26th mission of 2025 for SpaceX, so they've been hitting the ground running so far, not even through the first quarter, and they're already at 26 missions if this one goes tonight. Hey, what's up, Graham? How you doing? Ice King, good to see you. Drain Bramage, good to see you as well. So we're kind of in this brief holding pattern here, chat, as we wait for the live stream of the Starlink mission to kick off here. It says it should be starting here in about 5 minutes or so. Doing pretty good. Yes, hope everyone has had a good weekend, ready for that Monday kickoff. And man, what a week it's going to be, chat. Let me just tell ya what. If we go, that is not what I meant to do. This one. If we go to our launches that are set for this week, goodness. Let's just look at launches. So tonight we have Starlink. Tomorrow at 9:24 a.m. Mountain Time, we have an Aerospace 6. Ariane 6 is set to launch here tomorrow, which is awesome. We have, of course, set right now. We'll see if it pushes back or whatnot, but we also have Starship Flight 8. Flight Test 8 is happening here tomorrow as well. Of course, I will be hopefully covering that. We'll see. Depending on how work goes and whatnot, because it is kind of early if that launch point sticks. We also have Sphere and Punch, which are heliocentric missions, basically satellites going into orbit around the sun. That is heading off on Tuesday. We have a intuitive machines landing happening somewhere or in between here. I think they said Thursday, question mark? Is when Intuitive Machines Lunar Lander is supposed to be landing. We have another Starlink mission. We have another transporter mission, Lucky 13 on the transporter missions. We have another Starlink mission. Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot happening just this week. And of course, you know, SpaceX is dominating that field. But anywho, like I said, we are sitting here waiting for another 3 minutes or so for Starlink to take off here, for the live stream to start anyways. But yeah, what a wild time it has been, chat, because let me just tell you, if you guys have not been following the space news, I do plan on perhaps starting a stream tomorrow as a space news before Starship. I'm not sure, we'll see. Or maybe after Starship, going into a space news, because there's a ton of stuff. Look at this. This is from the lander that landed just last night. This is directly from Firefly Aerospace, from their Blue Ghost lander. Landed not only successfully, but like perfectly right where it needed to be. And look at that first shot, man. Technically, I've started playing Human Space Program. That's right, Snackles, hell yeah. Is Starship a sure thing? No, it is not. As far as I'm aware, it is not really a sure thing, as I mean, I guess it's as sure of a thing as any Starship has previously been, which should tell you that, you know, expect a scrub potentially. They've definitely gone pretty fast for this go around, so I'm still kind of expecting a day scrub, but we'll see. The only thing I think I'm wary of for tomorrow are winds. I feel like there's, if I remember correctly, looking at the weather report at Boca Chica, there's supposed to be kind of higher level winds tomorrow around their launch time, but like I said, we'll see. Doesn't really mean anything. Weather changes, and SpaceX, I don't know where they are in their integration process, because they definitely were already seen wheeling out Starship ahead of its launch. We can actually go back to the nope, not there. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So we can already see that they did 6 hours ago start moving Starship to the pad ahead of its 8th flight test. So, I mean, it could go tomorrow. So if that's the case, hope to be here covering that for sure. Anyways, where are we with SpaceX broadcast? Doesn't look like it started yet. Still T-minus 1 minute or so. I remember I woke up for Blue Ghost at the Descent Burns, saw nobody was streaming, accidentally fell asleep. My fault for watching on the phone. Hey, all good, all good. We did end up streaming it. I started maybe 20 minutes or so after their broadcast started. I think they started at about an hour, and I started at around 40 minutes until landing. But yeah, it was pretty good. It was definitely pretty good. I was under the impression the planned date was still a bit open, not a sure thing, because weather is far more... So according to SpaceX, and this is just according to SpaceX, like the only information we have is this. Watch Starship's 8th flight test starting at 3:48 p.m. tomorrow. And then I think down here it says now targeting to launch Starship's 8th flight test as soon as Monday, March 3rd. So, like I said, it's as sure of a thing as past Starship launches have been, which should tell you that it is not really a for sure thing. Check the DMs. Check the DMs, right, meow? Right, meow? Let's go over here. Let me see here. Oh my. Let's see here. Ah, fair enough. Ooh, damn. Heck yes, that's awesome. Good on you, Snackless. Good on you, man. Very nice. Very, very nice. I can dig it. I like it. Chip 34 is being stacked right now. Yeah, I think if we go to NSF, right? YouTubers unite. And then we go to NSF for the countdown. Is EJ streaming this?
Quicker than the other ones.
Standard Starlink,
is EJ here?
and then a dumb link.
Doesn't sound like it.
Yeah.
EJ's down at Boca Chica and being a part of NASA spaceflight down there. So, but yeah, look at that right there. So it is actively being stacked, but they still, I think, perhaps need to do a static fire ? I don't know where they are in terms of that. I know they've already done static fires on these, but I don't know if they have to do an integrated static fire. And if that's going to take place tomorrow, then it's obviously going to push back at least a day. So yeah, like I said, there's still things obviously kind of floating up in the air, but ooh, nice shot. Yeah, these pictures coming from NASA spaceflight. Definitely, if you guys don't know them, give them a subscription on YouTube. All of that jazz. They're good peoples. They're good peoples. Didn't Starship 34 have a small electrical fire? I don't know. I don't recall. I thought EJ had an obligation and had to be home for Monday. Oh, does he? I'm not sure. If that's, I haven't heard. I haven't been keeping track with him other than I know he went to Starbase. So I figured he was down there for the long haul. But if EJ did in fact could not stay down there for it, then yeah, I guess we'll find out. EJ is staying. Okay, cool. He said he'll be there for launch. Okay, cool. There we go. So Brian, people in Twitch chat are saying he's staying. I don't know. I'm not EJ's keeper. I have no idea. I have not talked with him. I can easily make Starship Moonlander and non-reusable tanker. Yeah, I mean, why not, Andy? Why not, indeed? SpaceX is live. Heck yeah. Yeah, EJ posted some pictures from Boca Chica. Yep, I saw those, indeed. But I don't know if that means he was staying or not. Is it live? Why doesn't it just go live? Whatever, chat. Anyways, let's see what we can hear. I don't think they don't do too much commentary on these Starlink missions anymore, but anyways, look at that. Look at that beauty. So again, this is another Starlink mission. This is Group 12, Block 20, which is pretty crazy. They already have over 8,000 satellites in low Earth orbit. Absolutely wild, their progress that they've made over just the last 5 years. This is, if I recall correctly, booster 1086.5. This is going to be the 5th flight for this booster after a 26-day turnaround. So SpaceX is already operating on a launch cadence for each booster on a less than 1 month turnaround time, which is just crazy. But yeah, this one should be heading south, I think southeast, kind of going towards the Bahama area, like the last one that I think we saw. Should be kind of a similar flight path. And yeah, the 26th mission of 2025. I mean, if that doesn't tell you the process that SpaceX has implemented to make this so routine, I don't know what will. I don't know what will bring that across for anybody. Yeah, SpaceX has spaceflight down as quite routine, no doubt. If I need a Starship with flaps, I will just download. Hey, that works. Absolutely. I'm kind of mad that I missed the landing last night. I read the times wrong. So annoying. Ah, oh, that is a bummer. It looks like we got a countdown net here. Did I just hear something on the net? They don't seem to have any commentary here, but we are, I guess, listening into the flight director. So we should be coming up here on closeout of propellants. When that happens, you'll see off of the valves and vents here off the transport erector, that one specifically, it will heave a big puff of liquid oxygen condensation, basically be a big white cloud, and that should be basically propellant closeout. And then from there, we wait another minute for vehicle to enter.
LOX load complete.
There's a LOX load complete. Next, we should have closeout, transporter erector purge. We'll then have auto sequence start, where the flight computer takes control of the rocket and the entire launch countdown from here on out. We should also see the... Does this strong back retract any farther? I know it does it typically earlier, but they have two different pad systems, so... That is such a good photo, the way the wind is moving the frost. Yeah, no doubt. Okay, no, the transport erector is already moved back a little bit. I'm not sure if it moves back any farther within a minute. How do you build a rover with Kerbal inventory? That, I've actually never done that before, Andy. I am not sure. I mean, you need to basically just have all the different parts available to you, right? So I would say you need to start with like an I-beam or something simple, and then just, put parts on there one by one. All right, so vehicle is in startup. Like I said, that's where the flight controllers on board the Falcon 9 have full control of the rocket from here on out. So the next things you should see in pretty rapid succession, like I said, we should see the big purge. We should see the pad deluge system, a bunch of water start raining down on the pad. There's the big purge that I was talking about. T-minus 30 seconds, and then you should see a green flash right before engine ignition, and that green flash is the igniter fluid that Falcon 9 uses to basically start the engines. It produces a green hue or green light as the pyrophoric fluids come together, and then the rocket should be off if all things go well. So let's see. 5 seconds.
T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Nope, couldn't see the green flash with all the condensation.
Falcon, go Starlink.
But we are up, easy peasy. Strong back is thrown back, and we have another Starlink mission on its way.
Pitching downrange.
The erector needs more paint. Yeah, use a little love. Vehicle is now going to roll. There's the roll program as it aligns itself on the proper flight azimuth. Ah, so good. What a good start to the stream, chat. So yeah, another 22 Starlink V2 mini sats coming up. As you can see right now, the plume is what's known as overexpanded. So it's basically, really constricted by the atmosphere. It's not able to expand out any further from the rocket nozzles. And then as we climb, that plume will basically cover up this entire ring here that's showing in the light, and it will that will then go into what's known as underexpanded plume. Yeah, it's kind of non-intuitive, the definitions there. It looks like a pulse jet. Is this early enough for this to be a twilight hour? No, if it's 7 o'clock here, it's not twilight. So you can see the plume start to expand. And like I said, as soon as we're basically another minute away here from MECO, from main engine cutoff.
Chill has started.
So the MVAC chill has started. Basically, they're starting to flow propellants into the combustion chamber and the nozzle cooling jackets around the second stage engine. in preparation for second stage separation and ignition itself. What is the mean altitude of Falcon launch? 80K? I think it goes usually around to 110 at its apoapsis for the first stage. Yeah, over and under expansion is in relation to what the nozzles can do. And I'll explain that more here after Miko. That's looking good. Ooh, that is a great shot. Oh, that's so good.
Main engine cut off.
And there's Miko.
Stage separation confirmed.
Very nice. Easy. Watch for the green flash. There's the green flash. You see that? That's so the second stage uses the same pyrophoric fluid for startup as the first stage. Oh, good shot from the first stage booster. So here you can see, I wonder if that's Jacksonville up there. It's either Jacksonville or Daytona, but it looks a little bit too large to be Daytona. That's probably Daytona down there. And then further down behind the booster should be Cape Canaveral. And then off right here is Orlando.
Fairing separation confirmed.
There's all of the Starlink satellites and the fairing. Like I said, routine, chat. This is so routine for SpaceX. How many startups can Merlin do? You know, it's a good question. I don't know if the outboard engines can do more than one, but we know that the center engine can do 1, 2, 3, and the 2 outboard engines can do 1, 2, 3. So at least 3 for the ones that are used for first stage ascent, entry, and landing. And the starter fluid on board determines the maximum restarts. Yep. Quite literally, so they're known as TEATEB, T-E-A-T-E-B, triethyl aluminum and triethyl borane. And quite literally, if you look at the quote-unquote slugs or cartridges that they use, they're basically in a T-joint connected into basically where the combustion chamber goes. It's like off to the side on a smaller combustion chamber usually. And as those pyrophoric fluids come together, they spontaneously ignite with oxygen. And guess what's flowing through the combustion chamber? Your liquid oxygen. So as you're basically flow liquid oxygen first, allow the pyrophoric fluids to come together and ignite, and then you flow your RP1 in this case, and then that causes sustained combustion from there. Yep, it's a gas generator cycle. Exactly right. Yep, gas generator spins a turbine, which spins the turbo pumps. Yeah, I don't know if they use any sort of like bleed off of like the gas generator and if the gas generator stays constantly going during this time. It seems kind of wasteful, but also something that they could do if they didn't want to continuously use igniter fluid for it. That's a good question. That I'm not entirely certain on in terms of like what they prefer there. Are Starlink sats omnidirectional? I don't think so. No, they wouldn't be omnidirectional. They're phased array antennas, so they're very directional. As far as I know, as far as I know, they're phased array antennas. So if you look at like the front of them, right, which is one of the reasons why they can be flat, is it's like a huge panel, and behind that panel are all of your different phased arrays. Oh, that's interesting, Naps. Yeah.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
So there's entry burn ignition.
Yes,
There's single engine burn, and then it translates into outboard engine. So when you see that plume change from like a perfect circle to like that oval shape, that's the difference between single engine burn and then 3-engine burn. And then it'll actually shut down the outer engine burns here doing this supersonic retropropulsion back to the first stage engine only. So it's still on that 3-engine burn, and then it should
entry burn shutdown.
Go back to that plume. That's single engine burn, and then we have shutdown. So that maneuver there I mentioned is known as supersonic retropropulsion, also known as SSRP. And it's not only designed to slow the booster coming through re-entry, but also to hold off some of the worst plasma dynamics on the vehicle as possible. Because that plasma, as you can see accumulating on these grid fins here, all that light is actually plasma, and it's very, 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 very hot. And can quite literally cause your engines to melt, your rocket body to melt. It is what re-entry heating is. So when you start using your engines, it actually pushes that all away from the vehicle during the time that those engines are on. So we should just be about, I don't know, 40 seconds away or so from landing burn. It's a little grainy on the first stage, but we might be able to capture a brief glimpse. Okay, there it goes. I was about to say, it went from grainy to perfectly clear. We might be able to see a brief glimpse of the only light in the middle of the Atlantic, which would be the drone ship, which might be that right there. That's the only continuous like spot out of all of this white noise here. That might be the drone ship right there. We'll have to see if it gets closer to that.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Maybe it was a little bit too far away for that to be the drone ship. Maybe, I guess it was just noise on the camera.
Stage 2 and terminal guidance.
Easy does it. There's the drone ship.
Stage 1 landing leg deployed.
I still haven't seen the drone ship on the camera. Just nice and easy. Nice.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Easy. Easy peasy. Ah, pristine, in fact. So that is the 5th flight of that booster, now going on its 6th capable flight. So what they should do now in terms of recovery operations is they'll get their octo grabber out, which will go up to the booster, latch onto it, hold it down to the deck of the barge, and then they'll ship it back. That's your city? Heck yeah, Andy, nice. Easy mode, chat. So unfortunately, we don't get spoiled by SpaceX to see the actual Starlink separation like we used to, but always good, always good. Man, what a good start to the stream, chat. It's just super hot and super compressed. Yeah, let me go back and read chat here, just to make sure I didn't miss anything from you. Supersonic retro propulsion. Yep, exactly. Grid fins are also optimal for this due to low drag. Yeah. Yeah, grid fins are very good at producing lift as well as drag when it's important. But they're very good at producing lift when you're going very high supersonic speeds and even low sonic speeds. Once you get into subsonic, though, they are garbage. There's a few things you can do in design in order to help them improve their subsonic control capability. One of the things you'll notice from the design there of the SpaceX grid fins, if we actually look at a kind of close-up view of it, let's see here. Let's see if we can find a close-up. SpaceX Falcon 9 grid fin. Yes, good. Yeah, definitely one of the newer ones. Yeah, this might be good, even though it's kind of like a model. This is a good one. Here we go. From Reddit. What better place, chat? Perfect. Can I not? See, that's the thing I hate about Reddit, chat, is that you can never like open up the image itself. There we go. So you can actually see each one of these grid fins, these slots that are quite literally, basically they look like a waffle iron, right? If you look at them through the front, have these, for lack of a better word, teeth or point that the different cross sections come together on. These help direct airflow and actually slow them down, slow that airflow down, much like a ram intake or a ramp intake on something like the F-15, right? So if we actually look at the F-15 and we look at its ramp intakes, nice. Where's that picture I wanted though? Oh, come on. Yeah, this is fine. Nope, no, it's not. How does they? Just give me a good picture of the ramp intake, please. Yep, that'll work. So see this right here, the design of a ramp intake for any sort of fighter jet or any sort of aircraft or whatnot that has something like this. The ramp is quite literally designed to slow down the incoming air going supersonic or even faster hypersonic flow. Slow it down before it gets into the engines. So going back to the picture that we had of the grid fins, these things are also designed to do that. Basically, it pierces the air, if you want to think of it that way, and it causes the air to kind of shoot forward. It gets compressed in between the grid fins and they become more effective. And that piercing also creates drag, and it helps slow down that oncoming airflow, so that way the actual grid fins themselves can produce more control, more lift. Yeah, very, very smart design. So yeah, grid fins are really, really good at being able to stave off any sort of, I don't know, lack of control that you might get when you have a booster going through the air at basically hypersonic speeds. Not quite hypersonic, very high supersonic speeds. But yeah, grid fins are really cool. Hey, Captain Failure coming in with the happy birthday. Well, thank you very much. Very much appreciate that for 47 Kerbal years. And also, it's not my birthday, but much love to you. Much love to you. Just making sure everything. Yep, perfect. I believe plasma is generally defined as being highly ionized, which generally happens at extreme temperatures. All those free electrons being accelerated would cause quite the glow. Exactly right, yeah. Yeah, plasma is its own state of matter, right? It's basically just very highly ionized gas. That happens because when you have an object like a Falcon 9 traveling through the atmosphere, going, say, Mach 6, if you will, right? Something very, very high. You are compressing that oncoming airflow so quickly that they're basically, you know, ideal gas law doesn't really apply here. It's compressibility effects, but when you compress it very, very quickly, if you're changing that, the temperature has to increase. And it increases so much that it quite literally creates plasma, which is basically what the sun is. And the sun, we know, is very, very hot. So plasma, yes, very, very hot, happens at extreme temperatures. Those electrons just get ripped away from the otherwise molecule of the air molecules. Yeah, it's bad. It's not great. You get like atomic oxygen, which is why these things need to be made out of titanium, because atomic oxygen can really oxidize practically anything, including titanium, but titanium is better at staving it off, and it can cause little pits and fractures in it. But yeah, titanium not only great at keeping high thermal capabilities, right? It can withstand, I don't know, like 1500 degrees by itself, where aluminum can only sustain like 1000 or 900, whatever it is. I don't know it off the top of my head. But yeah, that and also oxidization can help be staved off there. Are you going to watch Starship tomorrow? Yeah, I definitely plan to watch that. Congrats for Blue Ghost Stream waiting for the Starship launch. Yes, indeed. Should be good no matter what. All right. Well, chat, I think that is going to do it for our coverage here on the space segment. Like I said, tomorrow we do have Starship, and I do hope to stream that. And if we do, then we'll go off of Starship right into a long space news segment, because man, it has been piling up. Yeah, it has just been absolutely piling up. We have everything to talk about, from Blue Ghost obviously landing, getting some great views of that. I mean, look at that, chat. Just we have everything to talk about in terms of Astroforge and where their mission is at currently. We have Varda doing a great return vehicle, commercial operations there for a return vehicle. We have, yeah, Rocket Lab creating their own FlatSat or Flatellite that they hope to work with Neutron on. Yeah, tons and tons and tons of stuff. We had a great crew mission from Blue Origin. Yeah, there's a lot. So we'll probably get into that all here tomorrow after Starship. But until then, chat, what I think I'm going to do on the YouTube side, I'm going to end the YouTube stream here, and then I'm going to start another one, and we're going to get into some Kerbal Space Program. And then, yeah, on Twitch, you don't really have to probably go anywhere. I'm just going to change the title in the game and all that, and then we will pick things back up. So, until then, I guess I'll be in the background. So, you know what? Let me do this. Yeah, I'll be right back while I switch things over. And yeah, we'll see. You know what? I'll leave you, if I can. Can I leave you on the fantastic video that we got not too long ago? If I can find it, yes. Good. I will leave you here. All right. Be back in a second.